very excited to see all of you here. So we heard Pradeep and Nigel talk about these amazing technologies that are going to take us from big data into really big data. So now the question is, what do we do with this data? What are the killer apps? And if data is the new oil, why don't we take a look at the old oil? So when oil was first discovered, it was probably really, really hard to figure out what the killer apps were going to be. So, the oil and gas comes out of the ground, it's burning, there's energy, okay. So you can kind of think it might be useful for burning, powering, transportation maybe. So you might even think that automobiles and even jet aircraft are extreme examples of linear thinking from that, but it's kind of maybe conceivable. But think about things like plastics. Think about fertilizers. Think about feeding 7 billion people in the world, which depends on fertilizers and oil and gas. And how would you predict that? There's no way. So that's an example of extreme nonlinear thinking that happened. So now with data, with the new oil, maybe the linear thinking is things like big data analytics, and maybe the nonlinear thinking might be taking AI, machine learning, combining that with biology and genomics, and who knows where that goes. So for the new oil, for data, it's very difficult to predict what the killer apps are. But good news is, I think the speakers today have some pretty good ideas. So our first speaker is Ricky Hoody, who's a pioneer in the automotive industry for technologies. Ricky is the founder and managing director of Future Mobility Technologies, and he was also the prior EVP for Audi, responsible for technologies outside of drivetrain. And Ricky is going to talk to us about the future mobility experience and how our cars will actually become data centers on wheels. Our second speaker is Scott Phoenix, who's founder and CEO of Vicarious, an AI company that's taking general human intelligence and bringing it to robots. And Scott will ask the very interesting question, is there life beyond deep learning? And I think the answer is yes. And the third speaker is Munir Zok, who is the Director of Technology and Innovation for the US Olympic Committee. What an amazing job. And what he's going to talk to us about is using technologies like wearables and smart fabrics and computer vision and VR, pushing it to the limit, combining with AI and big data, and adding superhuman performance for our athletes on Team USA. So let's get going. Please welcome Ricky Hoody.